My father left me when I was still an infant, 6 months old to be exact, too young to remember his voice, his face, or what it ever felt like to be held by him. And honestly, for most of my life, I didn't really notice the absence. It wasn't a hole in my life. It was just emptiness. The kind of silence you get used to when you don't know anything different. He never paid child support. Never sent a letter. Never checked in. And what's worse, he never even let his family know I existed. He built a whole new life from scratch, like I was a draft he erased. I was the story he never told, the son he never claimed. Growing up, my mother never really spoke about him. She wasn't bitter or angry, she was just silent. I asked questions sometimes when I was younger, but she'd always deflect or tell me things that didn't quite add up. Over the years, I was told he had died in the Gulf War, that he moved to another country, that he was in jail, all by people I trusted, people who were close to me. And for the longest time, I believed that maybe they were right. Maybe he was dead, or worse. Maybe he was alive and just didn't care. I didn't even see a photo of him until I was 16. One day, while working my part-time job, my boss, an older guy who had gone to high school in the same town as my parents, mentioned my dad's name in passing. Something clicked. He went digging, pulled out an old yearbook, and there he was. My father. My own flesh and blood, frozen in a high school portrait like some ghost I never got to know. For the first time in my life, I saw the face of the man who left. He even helped me look up my father's contact information. It didn't take long. He was still in the country. A different name, different life, but the same man. I stared at that phone number for days before I worked up the nerve to call. When I finally did, a man picked up. It wasn't my father, it was his father, my grandfather, my real biological grandfather. I told him who I was. I thought maybe, just maybe, there'd be a flicker of recognition or even curiosity. But all I got was coldness. You made a mistake. Calling here, he said. Don't ever contact us again. Go to hell. Then he hung up. A month later, he died. I don't believe in karma the way people romanticize it, but part of me took that as some cosmic justice. Maybe some truths just rot from the inside. Years went by. I shoved the whole situation into the back of my mind and locked the door. I didn't talk about it. I didn't bring it up. It was just easier that way. But all that changed the moment I became a father myself. My son was born when I was 20. And the second I held him in my arms, everything shifted. There was a moment, just a few seconds, where I looked into his tiny, brand new eyes, and the full weight of what I had missed out on hit me like a freight train. My dad missed this. He chose to miss this. He didn't just leave me. He abandoned this bond, this miracle. I couldn't understand it. Still can't. The day after my son was born, I sat down at my computer, opened Google, and typed in my father's name, his birth name, the one I knew from that yearbook. In under 5 minutes, I found him. He had changed his name shortly after. I was born, probably trying to start over without any trace of his past. But he wasn't hard to find. Turns out he lives in a suburb just outside of Seattle. He's married. He has children. His home is a beautiful 2-story house in a neighborhood where the median income is over $135,000. There was even a clear Google Street view of his place. Clean-cut lawn, 2 cars in the driveway. The picture of a stable, successful life. He had everything I never did. And through all these years, while my mom struggled to raise me on her own, while I worked full-time through college, raised my own child young, and fought to break the cycle, he never paid a cent of child support. Not once. He never called, never checked in, never wrote a letter, nothing. The more I learned, the heavier it sat on my chest. It was like someone added weight to my shoulders every time I clicked a new link. It wasn't just that he left, it's that he chose to pretend I didn't exist. And he did it so well, so cleanly, that not even his family knows about me. I am the invisible son, the secret he buried so deep. He probably forgot how real I was. But I am real. And now, more than ever, I don't know what to do with that. Part of me wants to call him. Another part of me wants to show up at his front door and introduce myself to his picture-perfect family. Just to see the look on his face when he realizes his past has come back. Just to make him feel something. Shame, guilt, fear, anything. But I don't know if I'm doing it for me or just to punish him. Because here's the thing. Despite everything, I've built a life. I'm not broken. I've been through more than most people ever will. But I've stood my ground. I became the father I never had. I stayed. I worked. I graduated. I love my son with every piece of me, and I will never leave him wondering why I disappeared. My father's absence didn't destroy me. It motivated me. Still, I can't lie. There are days it hurts more than I know how to express. Days when I look at my son and wonder how anyone could walk away from this kind of love. Days I wonder what I'd say if I ever stood face to face with him. Would I yell, cry, ask him why? Or would I just stand there, silent, while he looked through me like I was still 6 months old and forgettable? I haven't decided if I'll contact him. Maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I'll knock on his door just to show him the man I became without him. But for now, I just hold my son a little tighter. I tuck him in every night. I tell him I love him, even when he's too young to fully understand. Because I will not let the cycle repeat. I will not let my absence be someone else's trauma. I am here. I am present. I am the father I never had. And that, in the end, is what matters most.